I realized that only about a couple of hours every day at the most, I'm really spending on the things that nobody else can do. If one is interchangeable for the other, somebody can actually come in my home and do that for me. My name is Dr. Anna Serbenenko, also known as Anna Skydancer. I hold a PhD in financial mathematics, speak 8 languages, run 10 aviation businesses, and perform at air shows. And yes, I'm a single mom and a competitive figure skater. In today's video, I will share my take and a few lessons learned and ideas about simple living, minimalism, optimizing your time and finance, and where the balance, I believe, should be. So about 3 years ago, I moved to a bigger place where I finally have a little bit of a garden and I get to do more things because I have more space for me and my family and my dogs, and things started growing more and more. In today's video, I will share some of my thoughts and ideas and experiences on an income producing activity every moment of your work time, and at the same time the concept of freeing up your time and paying somebody else to do things for you. So I have been kind of struggling to find the balance, in the sense where on one hand, yeah, I can do it myself, certain things, and I don't need to be paying somebody else to do that. And just to give an example, like to groom my dogs even. A groomer could do it, but I have all the setup at home. They are there. I don't need to go anywhere. I don't need to pay someone. And I perfectly know how to do that. That's not a problem. And then on the other hand, to pay a professional to actually do it for you, what's the value for me other than my dog gets to not suffer through my grooming? More on the business side, I have been looking for the options of having a personal assistant. So just to have a background, right now in our aviation businesses, I already have 4 people working directly with me, 2 assistant chief flight instructors, 1 on each of our flight school bases. So assistant chief flight instructors, I have 2 of those. I have an executive assistant that runs a lot of operations, and I have an administrative assistant that takes care of a lot of administrative day-to-day. And I have been looking at getting a personal assistant, which I don't have right now, but I think this morning I had an interview with a person that I have high hopes. I hope she works out. So going through the last few weeks and my day-to-day things that I have been doing, like, yes, I can do a lot of things, and probably in many positions in my companies, if I was doing every single item myself, I can probably do a decent job, maybe beyond. The problem is I don't have the time to do all of that. And we hire certain people for certain positions, like the flight instructors, dispatchers, aircraft mechanics, to pay somebody to do more of everything, and my personal stuff was a little bit of a foreign concept to me, because it's like, okay, I can clean my own house, or I can do my dishes or laundry, or even sorting through the emails and stuff. And eventually I realized that yes, I can do it all, or I can do any of those things. I cannot do all of those things. And taking an inventory of my time over the last few weeks, I realized that only about a couple of hours every day at the most, I'm really spending on the things that nobody else can do, or very few people could do instead of me. And those people would not be part of our team right now. So basically, this is where my biggest value for my businesses and my team is right now, in those couple of hours in a day, where I could be doing those same things for 8, 10, 12 hours in a day if I had my time freed up in other areas. So I have come across the description of the stages in life. And the first stage is when we trade our time for money. Basically, we're working and we're being paid by the hour for the work we are producing. So, and that has been something I have been doing for many years. That's many people people who show up to their job every day, produce their best work, and get paid for it. The next stage is when you hire help and when your business is growing, and this is what obviously happened as we were developing our business. Right now, seasonally, we have the total between 20 and 30 people that we have working in our everyday operation, and they each have their specialty, they are performing their tasks. The next stage is when you need to buy back your time, not only on the office side, where I would hire certain people for certain positions, but I also need people to help me make me more productive and buy back my time to focus on the things where I'm bringing the most value. And I think this is where I'm right now moving to, and I have a feeling that I'm actually realizing it a little bit too late, that I should have done it many months ago, probably even a couple of years ago. I thought I could do it all, and I can, but I realized that it's slowing me down, and I should have taken that inventory of my time and hired help quite a while ago, and I'm looking forward right now to implementing it. And then the next stage, kind of the fourth stage in your life, eventually when you build enough of the base where you basically don't need to work or even buy back your time, where you have built the capital and the assets to the point where basically like the return on your investments or on your assets is such that you don't even have to work, sort of the true meaning of the passive income. And I'm not talking about running a business, because you're basically running your job plus the team, and you have to keep producing. Even if you hire a lot of help, you are still involved in the business, and it's an active business. I'm talking that fourth stage is basically where you have your investment sitting in the bank and somebody is taking care of your investment, or you're just getting the interest payments. So not there yet. You know, like there's that quote in the Bible analyzing those stages. There is a quote saying there is time to gather stones and there is time to scatter stones. So I think in the early stages of our professional career, or sometimes even for extended time in our career, depends how we structure it, we are in the time of gathering stones and making our time count and so on. The time of scattering stones is where we have the ability and almost an obligation to not only make our time the most efficient and do our best work, but also in the process, as we hire that help to free up our time, we give the opportunity for those people to have a job and to grow and contribute to something that they would not have been otherwise part of. So I believe it's a win-win on all sides, this time of scattering stones, scattering the work opportunities and the financial rewards of doing the work. And I believe each of us is not in either of these stages, like one or the other 100%. We are somewhat on different levels, a little bit in each stage, and it's not like one or the other, or it's like we are youngest us is doing this, and as we get older we are getting to a different stage. It's almost fluid. It can go from one to another, or even go back and forth depending on the season of life, the stage of life. So even like getting a passive investment, most of us would have some sort of savings account, hopefully, and receive a little bit of interest from that. That's already part of your stage of receiving passive income on your investments. We go to cleaning company or to a cleaning lady probably fairly early in our stage of life, when we are busy at work, and we probably could have cleaned our houses ourselves, but luckily there are those people that just save our life and return us our sanity. And I have been using cleaning services, for example, for a while, and I am so grateful that somebody can actually come in my home and do that for me. So on the other hand, even right now, I can probably go to a hairdresser. I'm just doing my hair myself. I don't have time to do that. I find it's with the long hair more forgiving, and because I have the skill I have learned to do the hair. On the other hand, I can probably afford to go to a salon to get my hair done, but I think with my busy life, it's the time that I don't want to spend, I choose not to spend on spending a few hours in the salon, and I have the skill to do it myself. On the other hand, my nails is a treat that I'm giving myself and I enjoy, and it's actually saving me time because having my nails done professionally allows me to not think about them for about 6 weeks at a time, whereas my natural nails are not that good, and if I was doing it myself without the professional help, I would be needing to spend time to actually do it myself at least twice a week to make them look decent, and at the end of the day I would spend more time doing it and they would not even be looking as good. So it's every time a judgment call. Do we need help in certain areas? Can we have somebody else help us with it? And on the other hand, where our talents and skills are utilized the most, how to quickly decide on the fly. So all in all, it's not all or nothing. Do I have a full-time assistant doing like everything for me, or I do everything myself? We can hire cleaners, stylists, gardeners, and have certain things in our life outsourced. We can do ourselves. We can decide if we want to have somebody full-time or more, potentially even having multiple people, like I am at 5 people right now, to help me do what I need to do. And quick mental math that I would do usually is the following. So say, for example, just sample numbers, if a cleaning lady would clean the house for $30 an hour and she would take 5 hours to do so. And for example, so that will end up being $150. And even if I theoretically could do the cleaning faster than my cleaning lady, theoretically, let's say, and I could do it in 3 hours, for example, and an hour of my time, if it was, for example, $100 for flight instruction, then I would still pay my cleaning lady for 5 hours, no problem, because 5 hours of her time is still cost me less than 3 hours of lost revenue of my time. So just a simple math, don't count hour to hour, because I think it's very tempting because we say, okay, the assistant will take longer to do that. And this is true. They, especially as they are learning in the very beginning, they may take a little bit longer to do certain tasks that you would do faster because you're used to them. It is still a better solution for you because it frees up your most valuable time. As a rule of thumb, and as I have done my research, a few people that have experience recommend to hire an assistant the moment the assistant's pay is a quarter of your hourly rate, approximately at that level. And then and obviously if they are making you productive and doing their job. And this is something an assistant should be able to do from day one if it's a good assistant. It doesn't always have to be exactly the one-to-one, the work time. Sometimes it's your valuable time to recover so that you can produce your best work afterwards. So all in all, depending on the stage of life or the season of life we have, that we can be something that what I would call Dave Ramsey's mentality, where you do what you can yourself, you're saving money, you're putting the emergency fund, you're being a good steward of the resources that you have, and you're making your basic fundamental resources of good financials and good use of your time. Not extreme, but the other season of life that maybe I would refer to Hermosa mentality, where you hire people to do their best job and you're managing to those people to grow your business and grow your enterprise, for those people to develop the best of them and produce their best work for you. So depending where you are in your life journey, in your life season, it's important to be a good stewards of the resources we have. And our resources is our money, it's also our time, it is also our abilities and talent. And it's important to realize that one is interchangeable for the other. You can trade your time and your skills for money, but you can also use money to buy the skills you do not have, either through education or buying the time of people who do have those skills. And my conclusions from that I'm acting upon right now and developing my daily routine is I have the resources of the skills, and I want to have or free up the capability of my time to use those resources to advance the business. And the benefit also that we grow our team, more people get the jobs, we get more work done, we service more customers. And I'm very, very excited about this new development, our company, which I hope will help us grow and optimize the time of the management of the company, starting with myself, and I'm learning the skill to do more of that, bring the companies to the next level. I would like you to share your ideas and experiences about managing time, managing skills, managing finances, and how those three are intertwined and handled in your life, and maybe any experiences and tips that you have learned that you would like to share. Until then, happy productivity and prosperity in your life.